Okay, so I am presenting the attestation and survey manual that you will keep on the facility, right, in the RN station for the credential. And this is a binder that I made, and you just have you write on the end. It's got the little pocket. I do use these pockets. This is actually the first page of the manual that I printed out. So I just took the first page and put it in front here, which is it's nice to see. Do your best in all that you do, and good luck. All right, so this is a binder that I've already made for a client here, and I'm going to walk through how I set it up, and then you can present how you want to do it for yourself. So what I do, to be honest, is we are going to start with 100, section 100, point 10, basic mandates, which are the basic rules to open your surgery center. Okay, so what I did is I did spend a little bit extra time on the tabs, and yes, this is for a client, right? But you know what? Being in this industry for all this time, you know, and knowing how much everybody dedicates to the work that they do in this industry, it's very heartwarming. And, you know, me being in procedures and admin, looking at the same manuals all the time, you're going to be in this manual for a great amount of time. So our sections are, you know, I just made it a little nicer for the team. And then they can remember when it comes to, right, they can go to that area quicker in the future, right? So you're kind of giving them a little bit of a treat by doing this little bit extra. Just, it's love to know that you're there. Okay, that's just me. But here we go. So for the manual, so we're gonna flip through the manual here, okay? So the way I set it up, there's a lot of stuff that comes with all of this put together, right? And sorry, I'm adjusting lighting. And the way we're going to do is table of contents. We're just going to go through the manual, kind of how I feel it should be set up. Okay. The current staff ID, I did move to the back of the manual here, just because I believe the current facility ID, identification, and this is all the stuff we're going to fill out to apply, right? When we apply for our facility ID number. So right now, facility ID, current staff identification, oops, sorry. The accreditation program, so it explains when you download it, you can read how this all works, right? The surgical, then it goes to the facility director's attestation. These are all documents that are in the back. All right, all this in the back. And the reason I put in the back is because it does have, I'd say, somewhat personal information on the physicians and the facility. And I have a page I would recommend also to anyone to put your attestation login, username and login. And in the past, this has ended up being under staff personal email, and I would highly recommend to put it on a corporate admin account for the OR, okay? So that you have it. So you would have a username and ID also with the facility ID in the back here, okay? So just going through basic mandates, here we go. Operating room policy, environment, and procedures. These are the sections now. Basic mandates just tell you how it rolls. Section 200, operating room policy, the operating room environment, and operating room procedures. 300, post anesthesia care unit, all right, PACU. 400, general safety in the facility. 500, IV fluids and medications. 600, medical records, right? Because charting, even though we're doing more digital, we're still charting. 700 is quality assessment and quality improvement. Remember, I was telling you how you have to kind of report on pros and cons, honestly, and it does help Quad A improve what they're looking for as well, right? When they see your expertise presented. So it's more than just finding something better, faster, stronger, that works better, but you're also sharing it with the team. Section 800 is personnel, and it's more reporting, right, and type of personnel. And 900 is anesthesia, and that's where your anesthesiologist is going to go. But he's also involved in the facilities setup because he, wherever you determine your anesthesia station is going to be. So what I did is section 100 starts right here, 100 basic mandates, right? So there must be a written screening for venous thromboembolisms. Risk placed in the medical record of each surgical patient. So again, these are all going to be checkoffs, and you're going to need to have the protocol. Where is that going to be, right? It's going to be in a binder. So I will get into later how we're going to divide this up into binders so that you just pull out the one binder for the surveyor, right? So you just pull it out. He knows already on his list what goes in what binder, okay? And so I can help you with that. Right? So then we're going through surgical version, basic mandates again. This is Class C. This is what we're rolling in. So we're going to look at that a little bit. Class C, facility, all surgical, endoscopic, and or pain management procedures may be performed under the following anesthesias. The ones that are not starred are traditionally the lower level certifications. So this is Class C. So you can do a procedure under topical anesthesia in your OR, right? You can do a local anesthesia in your OR, right? I don't know about children in the OR. I haven't credentialed any place for anybody under. There were like 14-year-olds that I've worked with, or that I've had to accommodate material for, but their parents were there, and I don't think they were put under. Dissociative drugs, including propofol, epidural anesthesia, spinal anesthesia, general anesthesia with or without endotracheal intubation, and the laryngeal mask airway anesthesia. So you are going to need the intubate kit, obviously on your anesthesia card. Agents 3 to 5 may be administered by a or an a physician, a CRNA under physician supervision if required by the state or federal law, which technically anesthesia hangs out anyway until the patient's recovered in PACU, or by policy adopted by the facility. Anesthesia assistant certified by the NCCAA under direct supervision of an anesthesiologist, or a registered nurse only under the supervision of a qualified physician, excluding propofol. That's strictly for anesthesia trained providers to do. If you're using propofol, and agents 6 through 8 may be administered only by a or an CRNA under physician supervision if required. Anesthesia assistant, as certified again by the NCCAA under the anesthesia, and also by the anesthesiologist itself. In a Class C facility, no more than 5,000 cc's of aspirate should be removed while performing liposuction unless the patient is monitored overnight within the facility. And I have to say that I didn't deal with this until my last credential, which was with plastic, and 5,000 isn't really that much. So what would happen is the patient would come back for the next treatment, however long it takes to recover. So 5,000 cc's aspirate, make sure when you're planning your procedures, and I'm sure if you're already doing lipo in a hospital setting, that you're aware of this. And just know that all this stuff is disposed of. So there's a whole, right? We're going to that section. So Class C facilities must meet all Class A, Class B, Class C-M, and Class C standards. And this procedural book does say, let's just take an example of right here. So environment, what we're doing is this is for Class A, Class B, Class C-M, and Class C. And there may be, and then, so we're going to look at this one here. The opening suite is physically separate from the general office. So you can see that Class A, which is, like I said, is dental, I believe, they don't need to have a separate OR, right? But Class B, CM, or C, you need to have a separate OR. All right, so how to get where that's going. Okay, so now we know what a Class C facility is.